I don't think I ever wanted to be a writer. I thought I was a poet very early on, and I thought I'd probably stay a poet. I thought, and the writing part of it, in other words, the writing I've done, other than poetry, came much later, and I've never thought of myself other than as a poet, really. No matter whether I was writing libretto or a political essay or even the one novel that I put out here. I thought of myself, well, I was writing it, so it was a poet doing these things. Do you know what I mean? And rather than now I am a journalist or now I've become a librettist, it's like, no, that's not what's happening. And I had that idea because poetry was the first kind of literature my father gave me to read and memorize, really. And he was so premature in his expectations that he gave me all these things to read that I really could not understand. So, but I had to memorize them anyway. So that meant I had to acquire them, the words, the one way or another. And for me, at that point, I acquired them mostly by sound. And so I became very sensitive and to sound and also excited by the sounds of words, which I think has a lot to do with being a poet. In other words, the music of the language saved my neck as a kid. and and then I won a contest in school for Flag Day poetry, something. And I was amazed by that. I thought, well, that was easy, It made no sense to me at all, because I suppose you could say that of most poetry competitions, but I had no idea what the ground rules were or anything. It was a poem for Flag Day. So I wrote one and I won, and I thought, I must be good at this. So I felt officially encouraged, and I was never encouraged by my parents, certainly, to be a poet. Certainly not. But the other kids in my neighborhood, they liked that I wrote poetry and that I would write poetry for them on demand. It was really verses, that I was putting together for them. Yeah. So I had kind of peer support.